me. All right, who is in charge of that? And I'm going to think Jamie, Karen, Jill, Nancy, Terry, somebody say something. All right. So welcome everybody. World Trauma Day class. We're just getting started. Find your place on your mat. We're going to do a somatic experiencing practice for just a moment. Again, to show the connections that we have through the whole body fascially. And that is what gets interrupted. It's not parts and pieces. It's the entire system. Now, it may manifest as individual feeling of discomfort in different parts and pieces, but when you work through as a system, through the fascial system, that helps to relieve the entire system, the force and pressure there. Okay, so let's just get right to it. So we're going to start sitting up, and you can do this in the chair. If you're sitting in a chair, you just want to look up, you can do the same thing, by the way. It's whole thing done in a chair. But if you can, hug your knees, and you can hold like this, or you can also just put your hands behind you. Do what's comfortable for you. All we're doing is looking up to the ceiling. See how far you can look up. So get a mark on your ceiling. How far up can you turn your head here? And then when you come back down, that's where you want to get that mark on the ceiling at. Now we're going to go ahead and slide. Let's just take our right foot. We're going to slide out. This is why the carpenter socks, but otherwise just slide it best you can. Far out as your foot can go. Now peel your foot off the floor. Keep the heel there. Now squeeze your toes in. Hopefully you don't get a toe cramp. Now fan your toes, place your foot down, slide it back in. Now lift your toes. And again, place the toes down, slide the foot away, lift the foot up, squeeze the toes, fan the toes, place the foot down, slide the piece of paper back to you. Just the toes lift up, place the toes down, and slide it away. Just one more time, lift the foot and squeeze. Fan the toes, place it down, bring it back in, and lift the toes and place it down. We're going to the other side. So we're going to slide that left foot out. We're going to lift the foot and squeeze the toes. Fan the toes, place the foot down, slide it back in, lift the toes, place the toes down. And do it 2 more times. I'm going to let some people in because I see them here. You guys know the drill now. And at home doing this, you're going to do this anywhere from 3 to 5 times, right? And again, it doesn't take long at all. Just kind of working with the feet here. Now, after that 3rd time-ish, we're going to do the post test. So just holding on and then see how far you can turn your head up to the ceiling. Does it feel easier to move? So just working with the feet, that fascial system that runs from head to toe, right? This big mesh sleeve that enfolds us. Wow, that affects the entire system to include the spine. All right, good stuff. All right, let's sit up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a nice big hug, a big self hug here. And we're going to do what's called a havening technique. And these havening techniques, I think of like a self haven. So we're going to squeeze around our shoulders and just come rubbing up and down from the shoulders to the elbows, just nice and slow, just noticing how that feels. So one of the things about trauma is it really disassociates us from the soma, right? That's our wisdom body. Why? Because this is where the discomfort, the pain, the uncomfortable feelings that we don't want to bear witness to are coming from. And that's adaptive in some situations, and it's a gift. But not when it comes to healing. All right, so now we're going to go to this place. It's a marma point. You're going to go right from where the shoulder comes in to the bicep, and just gently massage there. Just gently massage in there, noticing how that feels. They've actually done some studies, and they know just rubbing this area and doing what we did increases heart rate variability, right? That's the beat between your heartbeat. Heart rate variability can be measured on things like I have on, like an Apple Watch or Fitbit. It is really a wonderful biomarker that we have that shows how yoga, and the practices of yoga, things like this, increase heart rate variability, which is a sign of good health and well-being. Now, it changes over time. So, you should know what your HRV is and see how it changes with these practices. Look back at your Apple Watch during this hour, see what it says for your HRV. That'd be a good thing to do. Now, we're going to go ahead and take our hands, and you can do either 2 hands, go for the collarbones, right into the chest wall, right where the sternum comes into the chest wall, and just gently massage in there. And again, this is another interesting point energetically in the body. This does come from Chinese energy meridian lines. This is also, by the way, though, interesting where the left and right vagal lines come down. So we talk about vagal theory a lot in our Warriors program. It is sort of the foundational stone of all trauma-informed yoga. And I think the foundational science of why yoga works and is really effective helps to increase heart rate variability and vagal tone. We're going to go to those practices here in a minute. And then finally, let's take our 2 fingers, our peace fingers, and I'll come closer here on this one so you can see. So we're just going to go ahead and take our fingers to the forehead and just trace a line with your fingers around your face. And you can have your eyes open or closed. And then now inside, we can do what's called sensory stacking here. And the more we can really come at the senses from lots of different vectors, different angles, and stack them in, the calmer we'll be. And so let's think the word calm or say the word calm quietly to ourselves, and maybe find a place in nature that feels calm to you. I just got a message from one of my beautiful yoga therapy clients, and she sent me a beautiful picture. She said, oh, I was at my favorite place, and this is what makes me feel calm, and sent a picture. And I immediately felt calm looking at it. I was like, I get it. Okay. And then one more, because I just love this stuff. So another technique, if you have anxiety, hey, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Let's go ahead and just wring our hands. Now, wringing of hands has been around since trauma has been on the planet, right? There's a reason for that. This is, again, our hands take up a lot of sensory real estate in our parietal lobes or somatosensory cortex. That's why when you get like a paper cut on your hand, it's like, wow, you pay attention to it, versus you get a paper cut on your butt, you don't even notice, right? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're really sensitive butt. I don't know. Okay, I'm always went in a weird direction. Let's just focus on our hands and just count now. So now we're going to add another sensory stacking and also a brain thing, right? And so your brain is trying to pay attention to the anxiety. We're basically giving it different signals to pay attention to, so it has to dial the anxiety down. We're going to count backwards from 20 by twos. Okay. And here we go. So 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Now think of an orange. Now think about eating that orange. Now think of a strawberry. Eating a strawberry, ice cream. Now I'm hungry. So see, this is what we do. We add another sensory input, and the brain immediately, whatever it was focusing on, it really can't multitask well, right? And it wants to tell kind of one energetic story, and it uses that sensory input. We're giving it a different signal. We're just turning the channel of the brain. All right, let's go ahead and start our practice now, which we already have now. Hopefully feel like we're in a good place here. We're going to start up on our backs with our knees bent, and we're going to go ahead and clasp our hands behind our head. This is a vagal technique, a vagal quote hacking technique. People don't like that term, but I still use it. I'm still like, I haven't figured out a new word on vagal hacking yet, so we're going to go with it for now. If you can, clasp your hands behind your head. If not, just bring your arms loosely out to the side. The deal is we want to feel the head heavy into our hands. And now we're just going to focus on our breath, however we can, and however your breath is, without trying to manipulate it. Just noticing the quality of your breath and allowing it to come into the body in whatever way feels good right now. Maybe we start to notice the chest and the belly moving here. Maybe we can notice this sense of heaviness, groundedness through the back body. Maybe through the upper back, the right, left shoulder blades, and then down across the hips and the sacrum on either side of the back of the pelvis there. And now right in the middle, now maybe we can feel the breath move more intentionally through the belly, allowing the exhale to descend down into the belly and letting the belly relax towards the earth. Can you feel the organs in your belly relax? Of course you can identify individual organs, right? Or maybe you can. And so really the whole belly is just collapsing towards the earth here. Of course, we know that increases what? Interoception. And increases the vagal activity, right? The afferent nerve fibers in the belly that run up to the brain, informing us of how we're feeling. Now we're going to look to the right. So only the eyes move. This is the vagal hack right here. So you're not moving your head. That's why we want to keep our head heavy into the back of our hands. Just the eyes to the right. So now we're separating head and eyes. And that sends the brain a really weird signal that says, why would we do this? Why would our head and our eyes be looking two different ways? It doesn't really have a story for that. So it drops what it was about to do or what it thought you were going to do because it's a kind of confused. All right, let's come back to center. You may feel a little woozy on this. Just let that go for a minute. Maybe take time to ground and recenter with the breath. And then now look to the left. Now you can do this anytime you want at home and hold it 30 seconds up to 3 minutes. What you're looking for as well is a shift in how you feel in your body. A shift in how do you feel in your chest? How do you feel in your belly? Does something happen? Do you feel the need to yawn? Or do you feel the belly move in a different way? Any kind of energetic difference there? And that's a sign that we're actually intentionally turning on the parasympathetic. That's why we call this a vagal hack. The vagal system runs our parasympathetic nervous system. We need that to be stronger. We want to put it first in the house of us. And then coming right back to center. Now let's go ahead and extend our legs long. And we're going to notice how long our feet are to our hips. Can you notice how long your legs are in space? Does one leg feel longer than the other? Do you feel where your heels are touching the earth? How far is one leg turned out from the other here? And again, this is acts of noticing and awareness. That alone is really powerful to help us to reclaim the map and territory of us, in our bodies. That's what we disassociate from after a stressful traumatic event or multiple ones, right? And especially down through the lower legs. Now we're going to feel this connection here between the legs through the pelvic floor. So let's go ahead and again, just take a moment. Again, notice that's kind of the pretest here, how far your legs are turned open. Let's hug our right knee into our chest gently here. And all we're going to do is, it's a very simple activity. We're going to flex this left foot, find active leg energy, and then hover this left leg just 2 or 3 inches off the mat as you reach out through that left heel, as you pull the toes back. Now relax the leg. It's only 3 to 5 seconds. Let that leg flop open. What we're looking for is what's happening through the pelvic floor across to this right leg. Do you feel the rebound? Yeah, so we feel that connection between the legs. All right, now let's flex the foot again. Now we're going to internally rotate. So turn the toes to the midline. It doesn't move very much on me, right? Hover the leg a little bit, still active activity. So the hips are ball and socket joints. We're kind of moving it through this full range of motion here, but through the extreme though, especially on these turns. And then now letting that left leg, still same thing. We let it flop open, relax. And again, what happened to that right leg? And then finally, external rotation. We're going to hover this leg, reach out through the heel. And again, just finding that awareness here of strength through that left leg and then let it relax fully. That's so important. And then what happened, right? I get the biggest movement, that third one every time. Now extend that right leg long. Notice the difference side to side. All right, let's hug our left knee in. And again, we're going to flex that right foot, fan the toes, hover that right leg, reaching out at that right hip. Watching any tension through the back of the shoulders, tops of the shoulders, through the back of the neck. Let that right leg flop open. And again, what does that left leg do? Now, internal rotation here. Hover the leg. Again, hopefully, if you're hurting your knee, don't turn as much. We shouldn't be feeling any tension to that knee. And then again, relaxing that right leg fully. And now external rotation, hover the leg. Reaching strongly out of that right heel. And again, letting that right leg relax. Ooh, what does that left leg do? Now, both legs long. Let's go back, the post test. Let's just notice, how do our legs feel now? Do they feel more even, more evenly turned out? Maybe, maybe not. We feel more awareness here going on. All right, now let's go ahead and slide our hands, so if you can, underneath your back. Notice how far your back is curved away from the mat here like this, right? Now, we're going to go ahead and do a couple of sequences here for the spine. Again, this idea of integrating the soma. So more focusing on the fascial system here. I'll try to integrate some other or stack some sensory information in it. Let's go ahead and bend our knees, feet flat. Let's go ahead and bring our hands behind our head one more time. So we're going to clasp our hands here. All we're going to do is focus. And by the way, that's optional. It's just an extra sensory input because vision's processed in the back of the head, and clasping your hands, it's very calming for our visual system, right? Another kind of cool hack. But your arms can be alongside the body, by the way, if this is just uncomfortable for you. So all we're going to do is we're going to do a pelvic tuck here. We're going to press that lumbar spine flat where we just had our hand, press into the feet, take the curve out of the low back. That should just feel really good. And then let's relax that. And now tuck the tailbone, push the belly up like you're taking a big morning stretch. Arc the spine. Big, big stretch here. And then relax effort. And then again, tuck, but try to lift the hips just a little bit higher. Just go up maybe a vertebrae or two above the back of the pelvis. It's optional. And then relax. And then now we take that big morning stretch. Now maybe really press the elbows, press the head into the hands, arc the spine. And then relax all effort here. Again, maybe go up a little bit higher still, just a little bit higher as you tuck the tailbone. You can stay with the curve flattened out or go a little bit higher. And then let the hips relax. When you're ready, same thing, big morning stretch. Think about plugging the tailbone in and feel that big lift of the chest, a little bit like fish pose, right? And then letting that go. And then again, we're going to go up even higher. Now you're going to pause here for just a second. Think about breathing through the tops of the thighs. We're really tucking the tailbone under here. So it's a different kind of bridge. We're really focusing more on the spine. Now let's really shift our awareness to where the spine is connected to the earth, which is up high. And from that place, roll the spine down like a piece of tape onto the mat. Really slow. Unfurl the spine. Pause there. Feel the hips heavy, head heavy. Then maybe take that big stretch, opening up through the chest. And now we're going to do kind of the same thing, but we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Knees wide. You can kind of feel your feet, maybe wiggle your toes together here a little bit. Same thing, you can release the arms if this is uncomfortable for you. And so we're going to arc the chest, do that same big morning stretch, press the knees down, press the elbows down. Now here's the weird thing, we're going to do that same thing of we're going to press the lumbar spine flat. So obviously the feet are pressing together. There's some dynamic tension here in the legs. That's all we're going to do to start, just like that. And then relax, think of kind of a relaxed butterfly here. We've got 4 wings going on. Now press those 4 wings open towards the earth, open the front of the body here. Even think about squeezing the back spine, right? We're squeezing like you're open up in a book too far, right? Cracking the spine, which is not a good thing to do to your books, but I do it all the time. All right, pressing the lumbar spine down. Again, same thing. Option, add in this upper body. It's optional. Like you're doing a crunch. That's really not the focus though. Elbows come together. We're relaxing the back of the neck. Again, flattening the curve out here. The important thing is the relaxing of the back of the neck. And then let the spine unfurl. Think of a bear cub having to be picked up by its mom. It has to go into a parasympathetic state willingly and relax the back of its neck. That's the key. That's what turns on parasympathetic. There's your big hack. Okay, arcing the spine. One more time. Let's press everything down. Should feel super duper good here. And then let that go. Press the spine flat. Option, curl up. Again, calmly. Find the focus in the core. Elbows come together. And then we relax the neck. Feel the head relax into the hands. And then slowly, slowly, slowly unwind. Now we'll do the post test. Let's extend our legs nice and straight. Let's maybe slide our hand underneath. Do you feel a difference? Do you feel less space there naturally? Maybe, maybe not. Let's go ahead and bring our feet mat width apart. So we're going to take our legs really wide here and slightly knock knee. So turn them in. Outer feet flip up a little bit. Let's bring our arms out to the side. And we're just going to let our knees fall to the right. Press that inner left thigh down. Let's take this left hand, a little sensory input, wiggle the fingers around, roll the wrist around, maybe pump the hand a little bit. Take the palm of that left hand, find your left hip bone, and let's just gently massage around it. Again, noticing the different kind of material there. When you go to the inside, it feels different. That's your iliacus. It's your tender underbelly. It's aware, right? It has more awareness. That's intelligence. And we go to the outer, less aware. All of those areas coming right here together. And then let the hand release. Maybe take a big morning stretch with this left arm and think about breathing from this inner left thigh up through the hip bone, right where it surfaces, that awareness. The awareness dives into the left side of the spine up to the arm. So that those deep awareness channels through the body here, bringing those back online. And then slowly release. We're going to reset our hips. So making this feel more neutral again. Both knees over to the left. You may have to lift up. Come on the outer hip like I just did. That inner right thigh relaxing down. Let's take our right hand, wiggle it around. Pump our fingers a little bit. Right palm to the right hip. And again, just gently feeling our way around this area here. Again, noticing it feels different. We're talking to our body now. Now the body talks in a different language, right? It uses its own language. And we always think of pain, right? But there's also the feeling of comfort in the body. We want to find that feeling as well. And then let's take that right arm overhead, big morning stretch if we want. And again, breathing our way up this deep line of awareness from the inner right thigh up through the whole right arm. This thing that holds us up on the right side of the body, the scaffolding on the right side of the body. Nice. And slowly release, bringing our feet back to hip distance apart, arms out to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and flow this with the breath. Let the knees fall to the right, but let the head turn to the left. If you want to add in another sensory stacking tool, let your eyes go to the right, but the head doesn't move. Notice what happens. And then knees and head come back into alignment, both knees to the left. At the same time, the head moves on a swivel to the right, shoulders relax, eyes to the left if you want to add in that sensory enhancement. And again, notice. And then now let's seamlessly, we're not going to move the eyes separate from the head anymore, but let's see if we can coordinate. When the legs move, the head moves. Knees to the right, head lolls to the left. Thinking about moving on the center axis of you through your spine. Knees to the left, head to the right. Upper body, rib cage really heavy. We're continuing to move. If you want to find it with the breath, we exhale on the twist. We inhale as the knees and the head come through center. A seamless, energetic activity in space. You know, when we're stressed, we move like from quantum physics, more like a particle, right? A discrete packet of energy. When we're not, we move like an energetic wave, like this. And then let's go ahead and curl our hips into the air, maybe grab around our thighs, maybe just kind of rock on that back body because it feels super good to do that. We can also go ahead and take our hands to our knees and just take slow, heavy circles around our sacrum, making it just feel really yummy, really good here. And then finally, just letting our back melt into the earth as we hug our knees in, maybe tight, either around the thighs or shins. Take a big breath now to aid that experience. We'll inhale through the sits bones, bottom part of our hips. Exhale, let the low back relax down into the mat. And one more time, really big breath, breathing the sacrum away, and exhale, release. Now we're rolling onto our side body. So we're going all the way around the core here. That's it. Simple practice here just to restore. This is where we disassociate from. All the way around, right? This is the first impact. We disassociate. We tense into our stomach or we turn it off. And so we're trying to turn that back on, and then guess that impacts the spine. And the entire fascial system is kind of like an animal scared, pulling out of or pulling into its shell really tightly. We're going to turn that back on, but we're starting here, working our way out. So the knees are going to come right out from the hips on this one. We're going to bring our right hand to the right hip and just slide that top leg over the bottom. Another somatic technique, focusing on the sacrum and the bottom part of the spine. Just slide it forward and back like you're sawing something. See if you can isolate the movement to that hip. When we get stressed, we move with one hip. We can't do this. We don't do this very effectively. So let's see if we can kind of reclaim lost territory by just isolating that movement here. Fabulous. And then we're going to go ahead and reach our right arm alongside the body. All we're going to do is lift and squeeze and hike this right hip into the body. Try to shorten the space between your right rib cage and your right hip bone. Squeeze and then release and let it go. Let the head be relaxed. And again, squeeze, release. Now remember the rebound we looked for with the leg. We're looking for the rebound through the left side of the spine. So as you relax the head down, what does the bottom waist do? Does it naturally feel like it's pulling away from the earth? You're not forcing it. It's just happening. Just notice. And again, lift and squeeze. We want to think about ourselves more of a caterpillar body, right? And a caterpillar moves that way. You touch one side of it, squeezes up. And so we're starting to feel that kind of caterpillar feeling along our spine, maybe. Okay, we can add that. We can add the top leg. My fun things to do. Knees stay glued together. You're going to kick that right heel up to the ceiling. Knees stay together. Right arm's going to come alongside over the head towards the left ear, or you can keep it right here. If you can't bring it overhead, you got some shoulder issues. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lift and squeeze, adding in the hip, really hiking that hip in. And then everything relaxes back down. Foot and arm, relax that right hip. Notice the bottom waist. And again, lift and squeeze, maybe take a different vector, right? Maybe take a different vector at it, lift and squeeze, and then slowly release and feel the difference. And just one more time. And then letting it go. And then we're going to take our right hand behind our head now, and we're just going to open up towards the ceiling. Again, find your range of motion here. And then we're going to curl and hike this in. So you're going to pull this right shoulder down towards the earth, but then make sure we're relaxing the back of the neck, even though this is a duck and cover. Inhale, rotate around that right shoulder blade, arc the spine, kind of like cow pose. Exhale, curl it in. And again, opening it, take a different vector at that, right? What that means is just come at a slightly different angle. And then one more time, bring it in. Beautiful. And now we're just going to extend that left leg long, bringing our left hand to our outer right thigh, right arm out like a wing. This should feel really good. We're going to breathe into the outer right hip. Exhale, take the twist, right shoulder heavy and relaxed. Use the breath to increase this twist. Think about that right rib cage, heavy. Think about this front of that right shoulder, really relaxed here. Head is the opposite way. Remember, you could add in that enhancement of the eyes moving the opposite way. And then release. Let's just go ahead and come right onto our backs, legs extend. I'm gonna let some people in here, get a little break. We're gonna go to the other side. Just a minute, but we wanna take that soma scan. I want you to notice, how does your body feel different right to left? And for those just joining us, I'm sorry, but I can't see when people need to be left in. We started practice, but you'll get the recording so you can catch up on the recording. All right. So you guys are fine. I just switched around so it wouldn't be the opposite side. Do you feel different right to left? Do we feel more like an integrated experience on this right side of the body and more parts and pieces on the left? I know I do, but maybe you feel opposite, right? Maybe you feel opposite. All right, so that's the idea, is that we want to have one integrated experience of who we are. And trauma and stress make us feel very reductionist. We have a very reductionist feel of the body. We feel like, oh, there's my left shoulder. There's my left hip. There's parts and pieces of me, but I don't have that integrated wholeness feeling. All right, so we're coming on to now the right side. Knees are going to come straight out from the hip here. And same thing on this side. Let's just start really gently, left hand to the left hip, and we're just going to slide that top leg slowly over the bottom, isolating the movement from right around the sacrum here. Just nice and slow. Again, noticing, so that sacrum, right around the sacrum, has a lot of myofascial connective tissue. It gets really calcified, hardened. So we end up having kind of one hip. And I'm sure maybe you yourself are starting to shuffle a little bit as we get older. You see people with kind of having to move both legs at the same time out of the car. That is, sometimes happens as we get older, but that can also be from stress. All right, so let's just pause. Let that be nice and relaxed. And then let's go ahead and bring the left arm alongside the body. And again, we're going to do that same thing. We're just going to lift and squeeze on this first one. So lift and squeeze this left side waist. Lift and squeeze. And then relax and notice, what does the right side do? And doing that a few more times. So I want to talk more about this idea that it's actually the side body energetically that pulls in tight. That's why we have an exaggerated startle response. A lot of times, people I work with very hypervigilant. That's quite normal. It's a big sign of PTSD as well. So we're talking trauma, think side body, peripheral activation, right? And then remember, the rest is the most important thing, right? We're activating, but we're seeing what happens as we restore awareness to the side of the spine. Now we're going to kick that left heel up. Remember, we're adding this on an enhancement. Left arm overhead to that right ear, and we're going to lift and squeeze. Keep the knees glued together. Really kick that left heel up. And then relaxing everything back down heavy. And again, lift and squeeze.
Remember, we're looking for that rebound, any subtle experience of that right side of the body pulling away from the earth, even just a little bit goes a long way. Bringing ourselves back to life. And again, it's anywhere 3 to 5 times. Remember, you want to take a slightly different vector here every time if you can. And then again, when you get done after those 3 to 5 times, just rest for just a second. Now we're going to go ahead and bring the left hand behind the head. We're going to take that big opening to start with. And we're opening our chest to the ceiling, a little bit of a cow pose here. Now exhale, a little bit of a cat pose. And again, draw the elbow, the shoulder down. But remember, we want to relax the back of the neck. And then rotate open into the shoulder joint, the shoulder blade, hike the hip in. We're getting into that back waist, right? Exhale, curl it and pull the belly in. And again, anywhere, remember, 3 to 5 times, just for good measure. And then relax. And now let's go ahead and take a twist, see how that feels. So the right leg's going to extend long. The right, now we release the right hand, it comes to the outer left thigh. Let's start it with a little higher on this one. Left arm out like a wing. Now I'm looking to you, but you can look over to your left hand. That's actually better. Anytime your limbs are going one way, move your head the other, and then add that extra thing and move the eyes the opposite. That is a jigsaw puzzle. The brain goes, the black box of you goes, I got nothing. Whenever we ever done that? Why would we do that, right? And so it drops the old story, allows the twist to get deeper, usually. All right, so the right hand to the outer left thigh. Let's take a big breath to the outer hip. Exhale, feel that rotation. Now, if your left shoulder's lifting up, we've gone too far. Using the breath, let's breathe into the whole left shore of the body. Exhale, what happens? And again, subtle adjustments here, really feeling the breath make the twist happen. Can you feel the rib cage move separate from your pelvis here as the belly releases? And then same thing, we're going to do that Somaskansa. We'll extend the legs nice and long. Just noticing now, what does the left side of the body feel like? What does the right side of the body feel like? Just noticing. Again, subtle energetic differences. That's what it's after. Not big, gross physical changes in the body. All right, let's come on to our bellies now. So working our way all the way around the core here. Now, as we come onto our bellies, let's just take a moment to let our head rest into our hands. Feels really good anyway. Just that experience of our core and our vital organs feeling supported and protected by the earth. Can you find a greater sense of ease here with that protective feeling, letting the belly be relaxed more, maybe in the chest? And then we're just going to take a little bit of a rotation here through the upper part of the spine to start. The right arm's going to come alongside the body, palm turned up. We're going to go ahead and take this left hand, and let's just start actually with this left hand lightly to the floor. I'm going to show you an option. And all we're going to do is lift this left shoulder up really carefully. And then we're going to turn. When we rotate, it's coming from the spine, and we're actually turning towards that right shoulder. And then it's a slow rotation up and lift. Now, if the head is moving first, that's a sign. That's a sign that we're compensating in some ways. Where the eyes are leading the way, that's a stress response. I think of like a cartoon character, right? That Wile E. Coyote. The eyes bug out and then the body follows. That is absolutely true. That's what we do in stress. So we want to let the movement come from the core. And so that's just the first awareness is, where's the movement coming from? Now, the next hack is we take this left hand. This is a weird thing. Take the back of the hand. You have to let the wrist be limp. Back of the hand to the cheek, to your left cheek. And then we do the same thing. Now, watch when the hand starts to tense or pull away from the cheek. Again, that's a compensation. And so let's totally take the twist. And then the real important thing is, how do you twist the opposite way? What's leading the movement? And so we're just lifting and opening and rotating. Now, if you want to add in an enhancement, then you add in that right leg lifting. Yeah, so we're diagonally squeezing the back body from that right hip to the left shoulder. And then that right leg relaxes as we rotate the other way. It doesn't matter how high you lift. Focus on the movement coming from the spine and the core, integrating through the fascial system. There's really these fascial ribbons through the body, right? And especially there's a cross patterning one here through the core. And I'm resting because I'm done. You guys can keep going. And then we just want to rest. When you get done kind of playing around, there's no like perform 10 sets of this. It's do it till you feel good, and then enough's enough. So just noticing again, how do we feel? Allowing the body to rest heavy to the mat here. Big breath into the belly, and then letting the belly dissolve. The other act is noticing, once we bring the body back online, what bubbles to the surface. What information is coming from the body. Without trying to analyze it too much, just accepting the feeling for what it is. And then let's take that left arm, so we're going to the other side, right? So left arm alongside the body, palm up, right hand to the outside, and we'll just start with that slow lift and lower, but finding that slow rotation. And again, being curious. We want to have a soft gaze here. Eyes stay soft in their sockets. Really sort of passively sweeping the eyes side to side here as we twist. Really focusing on is the spine making this twist happen. Now remember, we're going to take this right hand as we add on. If we want, back of the hand, relax to that right cheek. And then we lift, feel that connection back to that right shoulder blade to the spine. How does one side feel different from the other? I definitely have a different feeling on this side. Less connected, weirdly. And then left leg, if you want to add in, focusing on that cross ribbon feeling from that left hip to the right shoulder, bringing it back online. Notice where any tension's accumulating. Notice if your eyes are leading the way. It's a constant soma scan here. And then again, we're just going to rest whenever you get done kind of playing around with that. Maybe letting big toes turn towards one another, ankles apart, taking a big breath and letting the whole front body feel grounded and supported here. And we're going to come up to all fours, but we're going to bring our forearms down to the mat. And just take a moment here to reset by rocking maybe side to side. So we're just going to kind of rock into the thoracic spine side to side. Maybe let kind of, as you go to one side, one ear turns down to the ground, almost like you're listening. But we don't want to go so aggressive here. We're just going to take it really gentle. And then now inhaling, we're just going to allow the chest to open forward. Maybe pull the arms back just a little bit, but notice the neck. So the shoulder blades really have to come down to the back waist as the hips turn up. And now we're going to reverse that. We're going to do that tailbone touch, just like we did on our back, folks. Same thing, right? And then we curl in, relaxing the back of the neck, calmly looking up maybe at our belly. But that's the key, relaxing the back of the neck and the head here. Inhale, reversing that. I'm kind of tucking my toes. I like to get a little bit more activity here through the legs. And again, it doesn't matter how far forward we come. Can we keep the neck relaxed? And then just flowing between the two a couple of times, using your breath. Can you feel the spine coming back to life, initiating this movement? Maybe adding in our ujjayi breath, right? That's that vagal breathing where we drag the breath over the back of the throat. Imagine breathing through two big milkshake straws on the inhale. On the exhale, as if you're fogging a mirror up with your mouth closed. And now we're going to come up to all fours. And let's go back. Let's go into our cat-cow. So now we should feel a lot better here through the spine. Let's just think about really grounding through the hands. Almost like you're turning your palms, trying to kick them out from each other. Bend the elbows a little bit. So internal rotation of the arm bones. And then pull the belly in. And then now inhale, we're going to reverse that. We're going to loop the elbows in, right? So we're turning the hands the opposite way energetically. And then try to pull the chest through as we turn the tailbone up. And then exhale, and I'm reversing my feet here. You can do what feels good for you. Really grounded though through the hands, the knuckles of the hands. Inhale, expanding the chest. And let's just do one easy down dog, right? This isn't that kind of class. It's not about the poses, really. It's about restoring what we've lost in the landscape of us, and the fascial highways and byways of us that we've just, we've abandoned, right? They're dry. No one's driven on them in a while here. Now, how does it feel? Now, how does it feel? And we're just going to go ahead and bring our left knee down. Just for essence of time, let's just do just one kneeling lunge. I feel the need to kind of release the hips here a little bit this way. Let's bring our left hand to our left hip. Same thing. Let's just notice, right? This is where it gets more tender up here. So we don't want to be aggressive and press that left hip forward. We want to think about relaxing it forward, relaxing it forward. And we lift the toes in that front foot, reaching through the top of that back foot. And then can you let that left arm be really relaxed? Notice that. And then we're just going to go ahead and inhale, rotate that left palm up, pinky side of the hand rotated back. And then now can you feel a greater connection? Remember that left side of the body that we focused on, we were doing windshield wipers, and we focused from the inner left thigh up and feel the spine and the muscles around the spine connected back into that left arm. So the whole body, the left side, just one integrated experience. And then simply releasing it to a really simple twist. I'm using a block here with my left hand, not use your fingertips. Right hand palm to the right thigh. Let's rotate that right shoulder blade and then take a very simple twist here. Big breath into the right lung. Find the bottom lobe. And then that deep exhale, facilitating a deeper twist. And then rotating back to center, we'll creepy crawl maybe this right foot out a little bit. Just send the hips back, keep that right knee bent, flexing the foot. You can squeeze open the foot a few times here a little bit. Gently draw back from that right heel through that right hip crease. Letting the back of the neck be relaxed, gently pulling the belly in. So really soft approach to the upper body. And again, less is more when it comes to hamstrings. It's an awareness game. And then we're going to go ahead and take that right leg back. And why not? We haven't done any shaking. You know, I'm usually all about the shaking, right? Well, today, not a lot of that. So we'll shake that right leg out. Got to get a little bit of it in. Can you feel it through the jaws? Oh, it feels so good. And we're just going to go right to the other side. So the left foot forward. Again, letting that right hip be relaxed. Check in with the head here. Take a moment to reground our experience, our energetic presence. The minute we unground, that's a sign. Stress and trauma. That's what we do. To include, we might faint, right? We just say, oh, I'm out, I'm checking out. So we want to reground our experience here through the legs, lower body, upper body relaxed. Then we can root down with this left hand. So the palm of that left hand through the femur bone, right arm can be relaxed. Inhale, floating that right arm up. Top hand can shake it out a little bit, that thumb relaxed, and then find that integrated experience on the right side from the inner right thigh through the right shore of the body. Thinking about breathing, the side seam of your shirt open, and on the exhale, you feel a greater sense of yourself on that right side of the body. And then we're just going to take that gentle twist, right hand to the floor, to the block, left hand, and again, rotating around that shoulder, using the breath. So find this left lower lung, left lower rib cage. And as you inhale, really fill it up like you're 3D mapping your lungs. And then the exhale, can you feel it relax? And again, a greater presence of the spine twisting. And then right back to center, where we're going to toe heel that left foot out a little bit. Again, peel the foot off the mat. Keep the heel down, left knee bent. Breathing through the left leg. Using the exhale, let the breath pour. Waterfall like down the left leg. And then releasing, we're going to go ahead and shake that left leg out if you want, or just kind of do what feels good for you. And then we're going to go ahead and swing our legs around right away onto our backs. That's where we're at. What's today? Is today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. We got stuff to do. This is, who would want to do this all day? I would do this all day, every day with you guys. All right, so coming into a supported, or if you have a block, you could do a supported bridge, or you can just do what we did with like some pelvic rocks here, just tucking the tailbone under, feel the difference, relax it. If you want to flow up into a little baby bridge, feel free. Or again, hips on the block. You know, we're just at a different place right now from where we started. We went all the way around the core, just change that relationship with gravity. So we, you know, thinking about that central channel of us here. When we started on our back, we went to our side body, and then we went on our bellies, worked on the back, right? The whole thing. And then maybe just hug our knees in, rocking again, side to side. That feels good. Or whatever feels good to you. And then finally, for our final relaxation, our Shavasana, if you want to do supported, like I have my legs in butterfly, you certainly could. Legs flopped open, or do a little knock knee. Might feel good. Kind of tuck the tailbone under. Either give yourself a big hug, bring your hands to the body somewhere. Hands on the body, right? That's really a wonderful, easy way to integrate a more of a trauma-informed approach to your practice if you practice or if you teach. Always, right? Encouraging a sort of hands to the body kind of experience increases, right? That presence of us. Now I'm going to come to seated. You're welcome to stay laying down. I know we have a few people still here. They're here for the best part. Right? Why not just come in for Shavasana? I love it. And so as we are in Shavasana, and have we found our way, hopefully, home to a new place? That's what all the stories we've read of people who've been through trauma, what those stories tell us is that people have lost their way, right? Or have been thrown out of their homes. Where is home? Where is home for us human mammals? We don't live in the ground like animals. We live on the ground, not in the ground. We live in the water like fish. We don't live in the trees like birds. We're kind of lost on this planet, really. Where's our natural home? Well, we have to create it. We make it with each other. That's where home is with the other, in the community, the collective. So when the collective is impacted by trauma, like it is right now on this planet, to a strong degree, lots of different places in the Sudan. I mean, there's not just in the Middle East, right? There's lots of other places. It affects the collective fabric of us as a community. We're impacted by that, as we should be, as we should want to be. And so it disrupts the fabric of our home. And so we come here. And so our work is important as yoga practitioners or teachers or mental health professionals or educators, parents, caregivers. Thank you. Our work is super important to reestablish that strong fabric of us. So let's just know, do we feel the stronger presence of our own fabric here in our body, and a stronger one, more aware? That's strength. Calmer, that's strength. And so I put those together. Calm strength. That's my mantra, has been for a long time. Because through calm strength, with this feeling, this absolute tangible feeling of calm strength in my body and my nervous system, then I stand stronger on this day, today, and all days, to go do the work the world needs, to help those who need help. Let's just relax our jaws, soften through the jawline, cross the teeth, the rows of teeth softening and expanding. The palate of the mouth expanded. Allowing the cheekbones to be melted and relaxed. The bridge of the nose. All around your eye sockets. Can you let your eyes be like golden pools of energy now? Letting them melt back to the back of your head even. Feeling that sense of a deep presence from temple to temple. Now that the static energy, the static basically, has been calmed in our mind, there's a clearer picture there. And it's a blank, clear picture, yeah. Now see, that's the power. The old stories aren't running like replays in our head. We're here, present in the moment. So now let's plant an intention in our garden of our mind. That's some kalpa work in yoga, intention work. And so it's really powerful here at the end. Our brain's in a great place for it. Our bodies are receptive. Our minds are open and clear. Plant that seed, calm strength, or whatever seed you'd like to plant.
That's what will manifest the more we focus on that seed. We nourish it with our attention, with our breath, with our own witnessing presence. That's what will blossom in our lives on a day-to-day basis. And now if I can ask everybody here to take a moment to send that calm strength or this healing, peaceful energy to someone or a place in the world. I know I have a place in mind right now, yes, that needs it. Now, see, that's the real power in the collective. When we turn our collective consciousness towards a problem, things that are stressful in the world, it tends to change it. Can we hold that in our hearts for just a moment? And then when you're ready, you just take a moment to start to move our fingers, toes around a little bit. Maybe roll wrists, ankles around, give ourselves that big old morning stretch that feels so good. Or maybe hug our knees and rock. Eventually come onto a side and then come to seated. Option to bring our hands to heart center. As we turn our attention to our hearts, I always say this is, where our home is, here in our hearts. There's a reason we turn our heads to our hearts across religious and spiritual traditions, as honoring that there's some deep intelligence here. There's some intelligence, quantum intelligence living in our hearts, a faster processor of awareness and information through emotions. And so just noticing and honoring how we feel in our hearts and bringing that into the world as we leave our practice this morning. I want to say thank you for everyone who got up early, wherever you're at, showed up for yourself, showed up for the world today. Thank you. I'm going to come to the screen. I have a few things, exciting announcements to make, by the way. I think exciting. So stick with me. And if not, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm going to go right to it. I know we all have things to do and places to be, but I just want to say thank you all so much for being here. So I didn't even introduce myself. It's so terrible, right? Like that they're talking. Trusted this crazy lady. I appreciate it. So my name is Shaye Molendyke. I'm the director of YogaFit for Warriors. And we have been around for 10 years now, a decade of doing this. And like I said, it's changed over the years. So I'm going to show you real quick some cool information. It's just that we're just announcing we're celebrating 25 years of YogaFit, 10 years of YogaFit for Warriors, a decade. It's just, I just can't even imagine how we got here like 10 years later. Again, focusing on veterans at first, still are, but now, of course, trauma from the last 3 or 4 years, trauma today going on. I'm not a betting woman, but I'm going to bet there's going to be trauma tomorrow too. Yeah. So and this is where the power of yoga is. Great announcement is that we actually have, I told you I have a heart for teens and kids, and our 100-hour YogaFit for Warrior Kids program, childhood trauma focused yoga, one of the only ones that exists in existence, by the way, for kids trauma, is now approved by Yoga Alliance. So we have a 100-hour program approved as a registered children's yoga teacher training program. If you're interested, please reach out to me, warrior@yogafit.com. I'll tell you more about it. You can find it on our website. I'm going to be delivering a webinar on the latest research. I didn't have time to go into it today. Latest research on trauma, memory, and yoga, and some really cool new novel things about it. So there's some new understandings. There's some things that I have now like changed and grown into as an understanding of trauma. So please join me for that December 20th. It's 3:30 to 5 Eastern time. It will be recorded. Our webinar series are awesome. They're only $29, folks. You get your Yoga Alliance credits as well as CEU credits for that. And I'll show you where to find that on the website. It's under our weekly series, or you can call me or email me, warrior@yogafit.com. We have a new 300 RYT with a trauma-informed focus. So we have a traditional 300 yoga RYT, but I've created a new one. So if you have a 200 from our school or any other school, you can come and get your 300, which would make you a 500 RYT, just to be confusing, right? But with a trauma-informed focus completely. It's like getting your master's in trauma. I know that's a loose analogy, but it works. All right, got to go with something. And then we have an expanded, this is separate than a 200 RYT. This is a specialty certification, this 200-hour Warriors Expanded program, 2 brand new workshops. I talked about them today, incorporated some of that information in our practice, intergenerational and collective trauma, and then somatosensory workshop. And I will send this out as a PowerPoint, or you'll have it, I guess, in the recording. I think the PowerPoint can get sent out to you. If not, reach out to me. This is our new 200-hour Warriors program. All the old ones, level 1, Warriors, emotional and physical trauma. These are all 2-day workshops. Restoring balance, mood balancing, addiction recovery, chronic pain, and then intergenerational collective somatosensory and childhood trauma warrior kids. That's our 200-hour program. And by the way, if you take all of that, that's basically going to get you 200 hours closer to your 300 RYT with a trauma-informed. So that's the awesome news, is that you just have to take about 10 days more of workshops to get your 300 RYT. I think I did the math right on that. If not, someone please correct me. I think I did. Anyway, more, it's on the website. I'm not going to go through all this, but that's what's entailed. If you have any questions, you're going to reach out to me, warrior@yogafit.com. Find me on Facebook. Find the Warriors page on Facebook. And please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. All right, I'm going to stop the share. I just want to show you on our website how to find the weekly series. I think I want to show that. I don't know if it's there or not. Yeah, it is. Okay. Hold on, pause, please. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. So much love. I'm just going to try to pull this up real quick. If not, I'll skip it. All right. Here it is. And you will get the recording of this. So again, I know some people had trouble getting in because I can't let you in while I'm teaching. So that's the bad part about the Zoom Live. But the good news is you'll get a recording so you can go back to it. So our weekly series, just so you guys know, if you're looking for it, so mouse over special events, weekly series. And these are all, don't ask me why it's weekly series. It just is. Just take it, accept it, don't fight it. These are all the webinars coming up. We have one actually coming up this Friday with Katina. It's going to be amazing. Not a yoga. One for end of life care. And then EFT tapping. And then me, the trauma memory and yoga, and so many more coming up. And then all of those programs I was telling you about, if you scroll over our yoga teacher training, just go down to specialty yoga tracks. Don't look at anything else, specialty yoga tracks. And then you'll see everything I just was talking about. Our 300-hour RYT with the yoga, trauma-informed focus, and then all of our other ones to include our amazing yoga therapy program. Okay, that's it. Let me see if there's any questions I need. I know everybody was saying hi and bye. All the chat. Thank you. Amazing to everybody. You guys are wonderful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So much love to everybody. I'm here. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hey, send me an email, warrior@yogafit.com. Anybody who needs anything, please send me the email and I will get right back to you today. I promise. So warrior@yogafit.com. I will absolutely help you out with any questions. I'm also the director of education, so I'm here to answer your questions. Awesome. All right. So thank you guys. Go out, heal the world, right? If not us, who? We bring powerful medicine. I want you to know that. I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know I support you. I'm here for you. I love you. And so many others are out there doing this work. We are not alone in this. We're not the only ones who feel this way, believe this way, or think this way, and are doing amazing things. And you are the unsung heroes. I want you to know I see you. I want you to know thank you, thank you, thank you for being you and for making me strong. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you.